Here today, I'm not sure why we got into this, but he doesn't like Jared Goff. I do. He thinks Jared Goff and Tua, same guy. I don't. One has a history of injuries in college and professional. One doesn't. One is a number one pick, taller, I think a better arm that cuts through bad weather, a little better. But Jared Goff, it should be noted, does play better in a dome. Peyton Manning always did. 14 of the first 15 games for the Lions this year are indoors. Big advantage, Detroit. So Goff is a great indoor quarterback. 99 passer rating in a dome, 89 outside of it. It's like a greenhouse effect. His completion percentage in a dome is 67.5, 62 without it. He's not terrible without it. He is elite with it. He's a California kid, plays better with protection and indoors. Now, again, Peyton Manning, better indoor quarterback. So now, this is something I think about all the time. One of the reasons I never understood Mitch Trubisky to the Bears, forget the fact that they didn't see the greatness in Mahomes. Trubisky was a front leg thrower with a weak arm, and the ball died at 20, 25 yards. In Chicago, there's a reason Favre, Rodgers, and now Jordan Love are succeeding. They've all got whips. They got good arms. In Buffalo, their two best quarterbacks all time, big, strong guys, Jim Kelly, Josh Allen. Pittsburgh, Terry Bradshaw, Big Ben. It matters. There were a lot of smaller quarterbacks, mobile guys in between Bradshaw and Big Ben. So if you look at Drew Brees, for example, his numbers are incredible. Drew Brees in a dome, 105 passer rating. Out of a dome, 92. So that's a Hall of Fame quarterback. So Goff with protection, Goff inside or good weather is a different quarterback. Environment has to be considered. Now you could say, Colin, what about Tua? No, Goff has a better arm than Tua, and Goff doesn't have that injury history. So of the many things I consider when you give the quarterback the bag, injury history. Has he shown the ability to get into shootouts? Can he win multiple ways? Can he win efficiently? Can he win in a shootout? Goff has proven he can win both. Has he won maybe with multiple teams? Goff won with McVay and now with Dan Campbell. Can he stay healthy? There's a lot of things I consider. Dak has had more injuries. Tua a little more in. That worries me. So Jared Goff, much to the chagrin of J-Mac, getting the bag. Tua, Jimmy Johnson said yesterday I'd pay him. I'm just not paying him when I'm paying Goff because of the...
Okay, so let's talk about this. First off, I have no idea why J-Mac doesn't like Goff, and quite frankly, I really don't care. Goff is a great quarterback, and it's so funny because everyone always looks for reasons, and they magnify the reasons to bring down a player, but especially a quarterback. And they'll say things like, "Oh, look, he's worse in outside versus inside," and they'll say, "Oh, he's not as good under pressure." And the reality is that every single quarterback has pros and cons. Every single one of them. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, whoever. It's just all about, do the pros outweigh the cons? And just because maybe one quarterback is better at, say, overcoming the elements of, say, the rain, wind, cold, whatever it may be, it doesn't mean that the quarterback that doesn't have that natural ability is now somehow should be brought back. Maybe in a head-to-head comparison, you can say, hey, you know what? In a head-to-head comparison, I'd prefer to have this quarterback over that one because of this. That I'm okay with. But to use the benefit of, say, another quarterback like a Brett Favre being able to be resilient into the weather and the wind and out, just outside in general, that doesn't mean that you ding another quarterback for maybe not having that next level ability. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson is an unbelievable runner. Faster than Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, whoever. Does that mean that we now ding Joe Burrow for not being as fast as Lamar Jackson? No, we don't do that. So every quarterback is their own kind of unique mix of pros and cons. And it's like, really, at the end of the day, do the pros outweigh the cons? Because when people say certain things about Jared Goff if they want to bring him down. It really, to me, lands is equivalent to them saying, well, he's not as fast as Lamar Jackson. Therefore, he's not that good of a quarterback. And it's like, well, what? How does that make sense? That's not how this works. So I think everything is really shaping up beautifully for the Detroit Lions. Now, outside of when you're like this bona fide dynasty where you could just win no matter what, and although it's my opinion that even those dynasties have a lot of benefits their way. The Patriots, do you think Tom Brady's winning all those Super Bowls if his division was harder? If the Bills and the Miami Dolphins and the Jets weren't disasters for years? Of course not, right? It makes it harder. The Chiefs have been able to also take advantage of a very weak division for years. Those things matter. And so right now, this is the perfect spot for the Detroit Lions because they have all of these, 14 of the first 15 games indoors. That's amazing. We know that benefits the Detroit Lions. That's awesome. You have another year with Ben Johnson, right? This is probably Ben Johnson's last year, the OC. And I think this is the year that the Lions should be going all in. They should be doing everything they can to maximize their potential of winning a Super Bowl. They're not dealing with any of the other issues. Like the Cincinnati Bengals have the T. Higgins contract lingering over their head. Is he going to leave? Is he not? Adam Schefter was reporting that he might sit out, or if he's has some back tightness, he's I'm not going to play. You have the issues with CeeDee Lamb, with the Cowboys and Dak. You have all of these question marks. The Lions have none of it. They are complete. They are happy. The players that are going to get paid are okay where they're at, and the players that have just gotten paid, everyone's excited for them. There's no resentments, no jealousy. It's all perfect. Everyone is happy, and keeping Ben Johnson for another year is just it's just like raining diamonds and $100 bills. So to me, you go all in on this season, even if you have to mortgage the future somewhat. I'm not saying massively, but do what the Rams did. How when they went out and got OBJ, they got Von Miller. They continued to make acquisitions even in the middle of the season. And that ended up being a huge deal. That's why, that ultimately that pushed them over the edge to win the Super Bowl. Eagles, same thing, made concrete plays, whether concrete moves, whether it be 2017 or in 2022. That's what you have to do. Because I think once Ben Johnson leaves, they will take somewhat of a step back, not a massive step back. I'm not saying that they're just going to be done and now they have no chance, but it can't be minimized how great of a mind Ben Johnson is, and so you want to maximize that. This is the year to win the Super Bowl, right? This is the year. Okay? You can still beat the 49ers. You can beat the Eagles. You can beat the Packers. You have a lot of these other young quarterbacks who are up and coming who are not solidified yet, right? They are not there yet, or they don't have a good coach yet, whatever it may be. The Dallas Cowboys are obviously not that special. The Buccaneers are nothing. This is the year. This is the year. And same thing facing AFC. CJ Stroud might one day become a bona fide baller, unstoppable. He probably is not that just yet, right? I think the Chiefs are gettable. I don't know. I think the Bills are. The Ravens are. All of those teams are. So this is the year. This is the time. And I think you need things to fall in place, right? For any team to win a Super Bowl. And so when I see something like this, where Ben Johnson decided to stay, and you have the first 14 of the first 15 games are indoors, that's setting up beautifully for you. And so I just don't want the Detroit Lions to lose sight that this is the year. You're not on a 2, 3, 4, 5 year plan right now. You are on we are winning a Super Bowl this season. The Rams were not thinking about the years after. They just said, we got Stafford. This is our chance. Let's go. That's why they got OBJ. That's why they got Von Miller. Those were specific moves to say, we are going to win now. And again, the Eagles did very similar things in 2017 and 2022. So, and it's kind of what the Texans are doing. They went out and got Diggs. They're like, we got a great quarterback. We have a great young roster. We don't have to pay everyone a ton of money just yet. Let's go out. Let's get Diggs. Let's do it. And so I really hope that the Lions will continue to grow and evolve over the season, whatever that may look like. I'm not entirely sure, of course. It all depends on what needs are shown, or if there's ever some unfortunate injuries. You just make sure that you take care of that, because this is the year. And I really think that the Lions absolutely can do it. I really, really do. They have the momentum. They have the maturity. I think Dan Campbell is going to grow and mature and evolve as a head coach. I think even Ben Johnson will continue to grow and evolve as a offensive mind. You have a lot of young players who now have have more experience and have also matured. Goff is going to continue to mature as a leader. He's probably the most comfortable he's ever been in any situation in the NFL as he is right now. He's happy. He feels safe. He feels protected. He feels wanted and appreciated. All those things matter. It can sound cheesy, but it matters, especially when you are a leader of a franchise. It's a lot harder to lead a franchise when you don't even know if your franchise wants you, if the players want you. And you can tell that locker room loves Goff. Loves him. They all are thrilled that he got that money. There's no jealousy. There's no, I don't think he deserves it. Compare that to when Dak Prescott got paid. You know, you have people like Micah and Diggs and these other people who are like, you giving all that money to Dak? Or Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley with the Giants? It's like, you gave him all this money, but you're not going to give me money? Are you serious? No one's saying that about Jared Goff and the Lions. They're all saying he deserves it. We are happy for him. You are home now. You are home. And it has a gigantic lion on your chest. So I think the Lions are just in a great place from just top to bottom, whether it be their roster, whether it be their culture, whether it be the more external circumstances like the schedule, like the money being already solidified in the contract. So to me, this is the year. So I just hope that the Lions really are focused and they do what needs to be done. And they face the adversity that they have head on, and they're not thinking, okay, well, you know what? We got some of these players locked in. We have a window of like 2, 3, 4 years. You don't think like that. You go all in right now. Quite frankly, it's what the Chiefs have continued to do. They went out and made these, 1-year acquisitions, whether it be like a Juju or whatever. Like they make sure that they put themselves in that situation. They're not just like, oh, well, we got Patrick Mahomes for the next 10 years. We'll figure it out. It's no, every year is a kind of all in. It's like, if a player can only help us for 5 games, whatever, we're doing it. Let's go. Let's win. And I think that is important to do. It really, really is. So I'm excited for what the Lions have in front of them. And I think it's all unfolding very nicely. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think that the Lions are set up and have a big advantage with this, with their schedule and all the indoor games? And do you think that they're a true Super Bowl competitor? Super Bowl bound? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.